Welcome to this Steriking webinar of sterilization tapes. This is now one part of the webinar series, and it will be then more parts will be followed during this year. But today we will focus on the sterilization tapes. Our sterilization tape, it's quite wide. So we have therefore solution for all the customer sterilization processes and packaging materials what they have in their premises. Our tapes are always made from strong materials so that they stand the stress of the sterilization, and they keep the bags firmly closed. And then when there is some indicator printed on the tapes, it's indicating clearly the processed and unprocessed colors. So the processed bags can be differentiated from the unprocessed bags. And like I said, we have several different types of tapes, different base materials with different adhesive. And then the idea is that of course, when choosing the suitable tape for each packaging material, the material itself is important, if it's synthetic or if it's some paper-based or if it's glass or metal or something. But then also the sterilization process and the sterilization process cycle can have effect on the selection of the sterilization tape. And for all the Steriking tapes we have in our range, we pay special attention to the following features. So like I said, all the materials we use are strong, and we use non-lifting adhesives so that the bags keep intact in sterilization process. All our tapes are heavy metal free, so therefore they are friendly for the environment as well. So no hazardous waste is coming when the tapes are discarded. They are safe and easy to use. And then also we have more and more these latex free, so free from dry natural rubber tapes available. And then, like I said, there will be more tapes coming with synthetic adhesive in the future. And the indicator color change is clear. And then all the tapes we have been tested for their intended purpose, so that those have been validated for those sterilization processes and cycles where we claim they are fitted for. This is then the list of all the tapes we have in our portfolio. We will go them through one by one in coming slides. But we have two different types of neutral tapes, blue and neutral color tapes without any indicators. Then we have latex-free steam tapes that has replaced the previous steam tapes. Then we have blue steam tapes, two tapes for the hydrogen peroxide sterilization, one tape reel and one tape strip. And then gas sterilization tape and tape for the dry heat sterilization. And then, of course, also the tape dispenser to be able to use the tapes properly in the hospitals. So first we have our neutral sterilization tapes called ITN. So this is neutral from color, intended for steam, ethylene oxide and formaldehyde sterilization processes. And it's made from saturated premium crepe paper. Crepe paper is used normally in these tapes to provide stretch for the tape so that the tape remains intact while the pack expands during the autoclaving process. So therefore the creping in these tapes is needed. And then this is coated with, this crepe paper is coated with synthetic solvent-free adhesive. And it's available in 3 different widths, 90 millimeter, 25 millimeter, and 50 millimeter. And there is also mentioned the inches in case those are more familiar for you. And there is always 15 meters on a roll. This tape is intended for crepe paper, reinforced crepe papers, and then also for wet laid nonwovens. And we all know that these are also used with synthetic wrapping materials, so these are called SMS materials, even though we recommend using the blue tapes for closing then, and then also the new latex-free steam tapes. But it has been in practice, it has been used also for this tape has been also been used for closing these synthetic wrapping materials. And it's easy to pull out the tape from the roll, and the shelf life is 36 months. And in all slides, I have here this in the down right-hand corner the codes and then the sizes and the packing unit information as well. Then the next tape is also neutral, but this is made from blue green paper, premium crepe paper, and it's intended also for steam and gas sterilization processes like ethylene oxide and formaldehyde. And this is coated also with synthetic solvent-free adhesive. This tape is available in 2 different widths, 90 millimeters and 25 millimeters, and also having 50 meters on a roll. And like said in previous, regarding the previous tape, this tape is specially intended for closing these wraps made from synthetic materials like SMS. So for example, our Steriking SMX or then our combi wraps made from SMX and non-woven combinations. And then of course also competitors wrapping materials like Halyard and Medline and Cardinal Health wraps. And this tape also works quite well with wet laid nonwovens. And like said, this is intended for especially for the synthetic wrapping materials, and therefore it's having a very strong adhesive, because that is required when closing the wrappings, wrapped bags made from plastic like SMS. This is also easy to pull out from the tape, and the shelf life is 36 months. Then this latex-free steam tapes, like I said, this has now replaced the previous steam tapes which we had in our range, and this is intended for steam sterilization, of course, because it's printed with steam indicator. Process indicator that is according to this ISO 11140-1 chemical indicator standard. So these are made from saturated crepe paper that is coated with synthetic solvent-free adhesive. And this is available in 3 different widths, 12 millimeters, 19 millimeters, and 25 millimeters. And again, 15 meters on a roll. And this is also, because it's having a very strong adhesive, can be used also for closing the bags made from synthetic wrapping materials, then wet laid nonwovens and crepe papers as well. And then it's also easy to pull out from the tape roll. The tape has been designed to be used in the autoclave cycles of 121, 134, 132, and 135 Celsius degrees. And then the indicator is a light green from starting color, and then it turns to brown or black when processed in steam autoclave. And here in Below you can see how the color change process is proceeding during the autoclave cycle. And this is also having a 36 months shelf life. And then the blue steam tape that is intended for also for steam process because it's printed with a process indicator for steam. This is still having this dry natural rubber-based adhesive, so it contains small amounts of latex. And this is made from blue crepe paper. And then it's available in two different widths, 19 millimeters and 25 millimeters, and 50 meters on a roll. And these blue tapes, the neutral blue tape and also this steam tape with steam indicator is specially developed for closing the bags made from synthetic wrapping materials. So, for example, our SMX and then Halyard and Metline and Cardinal wraps. And like said, also already with the neutral blue tape, this is having a very strong adhesive, and that's why it's working very well with these synthetic wrapping materials. And this is also intended for the same steam sterilization cycles than the standard latex-free steam tape. This is also changing color from light green to brown or black when processed in autoclave, and the color change is shown in below. And shelf life of this tape is 36 months. Then as there is the increasing number of these low temperature hydrogen peroxide sterilization machines to the market, therefore it's also needed tape for those processes. So this hydrogen peroxide sterilization process, it's different in that respect that no these like paper-based or these crepe-based tapes cannot be used in these processes because in worst case these tapes could abort the sterilization process due to the cellulose contained in their structure. So therefore only synthetic based materials are allowed to use in this hydrogen peroxide sterilization process, and therefore this plasma tape reel what we have in our range, it's made from white polypropylene that is coated with a synthetic solvent-free adhesive, and then it's printed with hydrogen peroxide process indicator that is according to this chemical indicator standard. This is available only in one width, 25 millimeters, and there is 25 meters on a roll. And this is then, of course, designed for the synthetic wrapping materials that are used in this hydrogen peroxide sterilization process. So it's working very well with those materials, and it's again having a good adhesion properties and non-lifting during the sterilization process. The indicator printed on this tape is having the same color change that what we have in our Tyvek pouches and reels. So it's changing color from blue to pink when exposed to vaporized hydrogen peroxide sterilization processes and like in machines like Sterad and VPro, etc. And then there is this certain gas concentration of hydrogen peroxide where the color change is going to happen. So it's this 2.3 milligrams per liter at 50 Celsius degrees when the color change is happening. And then shelf life of this tape is 24 months. We also have this indicator tape strip for plasma sterilization. This we have had in our range for a very long time already. The tape in real format is a bit newer product. So this is made from Tyvek. So same Tyvek materials than our pouches and rolls. Then this is printed also with the same process indicator that what we have in our pouches and Tyvek pouches and rolls. And the indicator is again according to this ISO 11140-1 chemical indicator standard. So this comes in a strip format, so it's 20 millimeter times 150 millimeter. So this doesn't require that the tape need to be cut, but it's coming in ready cut format. And there is always 200 strips in one box. And as this is intended for hydrogen peroxide sterilization, therefore it's also working very well with this all the synthetic wrapping materials like our SMX and halyard and Metline, etc. And then, yeah, like said already, it's having the same color than what we have in our Tyvek pouches and rolls, and therefore the color changes from blue to pink when exposed to Sterat and V-Pro sterilization cycles. Shelf life of these tape strips is 36 months. Then for the ethylene oxide sterilization process, we have this EO tape that is again made from crepe paper, but this is then coated with dry natural rubber-based adhesive and again contains small amounts of latex in this adhesive structure. This is printed with EO process indicator that is according to this chemical indicator standard, available in one width of 19 millimeters, having 50 meters on a roll, and it can be used for all type of wrapping materials that are used in EO sterilization, and it can be also used for metal and glass items that where they want to see if the item has been processed or not. So it's easy to handle and also adheres well. And in case it need to be removed from the metal or glass item sterilized in EU, it also leaves out from the item as well after sterilization. But it's non-lifting during the sterilization process, but you can take it off if you need to take it off. Then it is this indicator is supposed to change color in EO sterilization process that is having these parameters. So 60% of relative humidity and then gas concentration of 600 milliliters per liter. And then either 37 Celsius degrees for 25 minutes or at 54 Celsius degrees for 20 minutes. So these are the conditions where this process indicator is supposed to change color. So the indicator in this tape is this kind of gas text format, not the stripes like what we have in many other tapes. And that is then turning color from brown to green when exposed to these EO sterilization conditions. And shelf life of this tape is 24 months. Then last tape in our range is this hot air tape that is intended for the dry heat sterilization. And it's made from saturated semi-crepe paper that is coated with silicone to silicone adhesive because that withstands high temperatures what are present in this hot air sterilization process. And the indicator is again according to this chemical indicator standard. And this tape is available in one width of 90 millimeters and 50 meters on a roll. And this can be used closing the hot air rolls or pouches made from nylon, then containers, special trays, because it sticks very well to metal and also glass. but then also paper and all different type of plastics that are sterilized in dry hot air sterilization. Typical sterilization temperature for these tapes is 160 Celsius degrees or 180 Celsius degrees. And the indicator is changing color from green to dark brown when processed in this dry heat sterilization process. And shelf life is 24 months. Then to be able to use these tapes in the sterilization departments, they need also these tape dispensers, and therefore we also have one in our Steriking range. So tape dispensers are used for holding and cutting the sterilization tapes in the sterilization departments. So there is this serrated edge on this tape dispenser that allows the easy cutting of the tape, and then also there is this weighted base that keeps the tape dispenser stable on the table when the tape is cut from the roll. And this dispenser is suitable for all tapes from 12 millimeters to 25 millimeters. And it's fitting one tape roll at a time. Then some words about how to use the tapes. So it's important to remember that all the sterilization tapes are pressure sensitive. So they require pressure when they are applied to the wrapping material to enable that the tape will really stand and is not lifting during the sterilization process. So therefore, it's important that when they apply the tape strip for the wrapped pack, they need to apply the finger pressure for the whole length of the tape so that it really sticks on the material and stays there while the pack is processed in the sterilization process. And then it's also recommended that the tape is applied in a pack so that the part of the tape is on the other half of on the other side of the wrapped pack and not only like covering the whole pack or something, because then it could be that it's breaking during the sterilization process. And then of course after sterilization it needs to be verified that the indicators has changed to the processed color. What we are as a manufacturer telling that what the processed color should be, and in case that's not happening, then the wrapped items need to be sent for reprocessing, and the pack shouldn't be used. And then it's important also to know that when then the pack is taken into use, the pack should be opened by breaking the tape. So it's not allowed to peel or it's not recommended to peel the tape off from the wrapped pack, but it needs to be broken so that there is shown that the packets have been really, so that there is this tamper evidence that the pack has been now opened and it cannot be closed anymore. So therefore it's important that it's not peeled off from the wrap, but broken while it is opened at the point of use. Then some storage recommendation for tapes in general. So it's recommended that the tapes removed from the packaging should be stored in room temperature conditions and in relative humidity of 40 to 15%. And then all indicators need to be protected from exposure to UV light, because it's affecting the indicator colors before and after sterilization. So therefore those cannot be exposed to UV light after or before or after sterilization. Then some words about the sustainability, because sustainability is our in WIPAC strategy, and therefore I like to mention that the solvent-free manufacturing process of tapes is sustainable. It's friendlier for the environment because there is no solvent emissions coming, and then is also healthier for the workers manufacturing the tapes. And almost all our tapes are nowadays produced with a solvent-free manufacturing process, and the future is that every manufacturing processing is going into that direction. And then a reminder that our tapes are heavy metal and lead free. Indicators on those, so it means that they can be safely disposed and doesn't require any special waste disposal because it's not containing any amounts of heavy metals. Then before we are stopping, I'd just like to remind you that this presentation and the recording of this webinar will be available from our web portal maybe next week. And other than that, I would like to thank you everybody for participating into this meeting.